Next question, can the dead communicate with the living? That's a real head scratcher. Now, this scenario here teaches that those 5 brothers, there was nobody that could go back and warn them. In fact, we find here Abraham saying they've got the Bible, that's all they're going to get. Let them hear what the Word of God has to say. But can dead people communicate with the living? I count in the Bible 10 men in all, or 10 people, I should say, in all, that die and come back to life. I don't have time to show them all to you, but there's 4 men in the Old Testament. There's 4 in the New Testament, and then there's a woman and a girl that actually die and they come back, and there's not a word in the Bible about them communicating with the living during that time or even after that time. In fact, the Bible is totally silent. I don't know if God erased their memory of what they saw, but there's nothing recorded, whether it's Lazarus, whatever. He doesn't come back and say, well, this is what it's like, and so on. Now, Paul does mention some things. He says, but I can't even utter them. There were things that were just unbelievable. We don't have anything to compare it to here. And so the dead cannot communicate with the living, and I say that because I know there are those in astrology and things along those lines that claim to be able to do that. We read in Deuteronomy 18:9 that when thou art come into the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations. Those nations, those heathen nations, had all kinds of astrologers and mediums and soothsayers and witches and warlocks and things along those lines. And God said, you put those people to death if they do those things. And so, no, that communication does not take place. And you need to avoid palm readers and reading the astrology and your future and the mediums and the tarot cards and the tea leaves and all of that stuff. Avoid that. That is not of God.